The next bit you're going to read for us, Mike, and we're going to rob people of the chance to maybe have as many questions at the end, but I think we need to get this bit in because your piece about parties and social life and the human life of the house is a reminder about a period which feels a long, long time ago now, where loads of people could fetch up at a house and have a party and hug and get it on and all the rest of it. And you've got a section about one of your famous parties. And when this is all over, I've already tried to invite myself to one of them because they're legendary, and I've been hearing about them for many, many years. And just registering the one you had when you were writing this book also is almost like a missive from a long ago past.
It absolutely is, and this was my 50th. It wasn't a 50th. We didn't really announce that it was my 50th, but it did. This was 4 years ago, 4 summers ago. And although I'm a midwinter baby, Preds and I share a birthday, and it's dead in the middle of winter. It's just before Christmas. So we've had loads and loads of really miserable, cold birthday parties, and we thought, well, stuff it, we're going to have a summer party and still make it the kind of birthday do. But yeah, reading it now, I mean, so this is this time of year. This is from the fire chapter. So fire, the element of fire, all things sociable and exciting and sexy and drunken and noise and tumult, really. So imagine, if you can, just partying a little bit harder now. Now it's summer. It probably is summer. It's beautiful out there. Let's all go to a virtual party. We've already reclaimed so many corners that were unused by Reg and George. Nibbled out of the field is the pool, and over near the house, a grassy hollow that was once the kitchen midden. We dug out shards of broken crockery and bed springs, fenced it off, built a stone water trough, planted fruit trees, bushes, and the almighty gunnerer, and grandly rechristened it a Bearshlan, the orchard. Alongside, on the plug of rock where the drover's track begins its climb, Preds has landscaped its slopes, planted more fruit in the side soils, and carved a sinuous, secretive path through the beech trees to the Nant, the stream, trickling down from the spring. Another addition was forced on us the Christmas before. After a stormy night, we woke to a double calamity. Poor Taff, our ailing sheepdog, on his last legs, and so too a wartime Nissen hut, ripped free of its moorings and collapsing rustily. We talked about getting rid of it, as it blocked the evening summer sun from the back of the house, but had gradually filled it with so much junk that the decision had been quietly shelved. The storm made it for us, and has bequeathed a sunny and prolific veg plot, a potager, as Preds likes to think of it. There are new indoor spaces too. On the side of the house is another stone barn, and beyond that, slate steps climb to the old granary, now my workspace. This is where I'm sitting now. The book-lined study with its wood burner and wraparound sound is the realisation of a 30-year dream. I so wish that Reg and George could see it. Sometimes when they'd let out every possible room to paying guests, Reg had to sleep on a camp bed in the granary, far less cosy in those days. And in the early years, they'd occasionally sit up there, since it has the best view of all over the hills and Sanctuary Stone. There's also the milking parlour between the big barn and the lawn, which has been re-roofed and turned into Preds' plant nursery, a sensual overload of fronds and flowers, chairs and throws, and another wood burner. Today, for the party, it doubles up as the bar. Even on a warm summer's day, some prefer to stay in the house. The living room is full of older locals chatting, and some playing Scrabble, both English and Welsh versions. While who knows what is going on in the TV parlour opposite, the door has been clamped shut all day by the children, who've taken it over as their den. The kitchen, of course, is never quiet. A hog roast is served, and the day slides into evening. In the bar, people are cackling as they mix rocket-fueled cocktails, while reggae pulses out of my study, a siren call to the smokers. Around the gardens, Chinese lanterns are lit, the main fire too, instantly drawing a crowd to its flickering dance. I wander over the lane to the camping field to round up any stragglers for the cabaret. The waxing moon, 3/4 full, is rising copper and sultry. Spirits are high. By the time I get back, the cabaret is about to kick off in the big barn. People are crammed in, catcalling and hollering with laughter. And the only place I can squeeze in is right by the stage. Aside from the 1966 theme, we didn't call the party my 50th, though it's quickly obvious that word has gone around, as many of those performing have written songs, sketches and poems in my honour. I'm touched by the sentiments, but quietly horrified too. Paranoid that people will think I've deliberately positioned myself centre stage to lap it up, like a syphilitic medieval monarch receiving the hosannas of his court. Some of the contributions, predictably queer and smutty. Nerves prickle through me as I scan the faces of my family, some of our older neighbours, and the parents of youngsters present. But all I see is joy and kindness and faces stretched red by drink and laughter. With the night, all gets blurry. Preds lights the fire in the beacon at the far end of the pool, its flames raised towards the peak of Rhan, now a comforting silhouette against the gloaming northern sky. Moths to the flame, a few partygoers drift down. One couple, still in the hot rut of their early courtship, strip off for a swim and then some. We leave them to it. Their only instruction, not to get any bodily fluids in the water, thank you very much. They're not the only ones. The night spawns a few unanticipated blazes of passion, just as it should. Back in the big barn, I spend a few hazy hours on the decks and keep dozens dancing. By the time the music stops, it is milky dawn. Survivors huddle around the fire, talking trash, drinking tea, and fighting sleep. At 7, I am the last man standing. From sponge cake and Scrabble and Gymraeg to starlit narcotic seduction, it has been the day of 100 more bespoke parties, through Goch's infinitely elastic knack. Oh, what a party! I so want a party.